to take a derivative. When taking a derivative, there are two steps. The first step is to multiply the exponent of the variable by the coefficient in front. So 3 times 7 is 21. Your second step is to take the exponent and subtract 1 from it, leaving us with x squared. And that is your derivative. An example, f of x equals 4x cubed minus 6x squared plus 3x minus 10. Your first derivative, you would take your exponent and multiply it by the front for each section. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Minus 1 is x. 1 times 3 is 3. Minus 1 is 0x. And x 0 times 10 is 0. So, your second derivative would be, all you have to do is take the derivative of the first derivative. So then we'd have 2 times 12, which is 24. 2 minus 1 is just 1. Minus 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then 0 times 3 is 0. And lastly, you can do this one more time and take the third derivative. 1 times 24 is just 24. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then 0 times 12 is 0. The chain rule. When taking a derivative of a function raised to a power, you must use the chain rule. The first step is to take your exponent and bring it down in front of the function and multiply it by. So we would have 3 times x squared plus 5. Second, like before, you're going to subtract it by 1. So we are left with squared. Your third step is going to be multiplying it by the derivative of the inside function. And your derivative of this is, you bring your 2 down, so you'd have 2x, because 2 minus 1 would be 1, and then it's a constant, so that would be 0. Simplifying it out, we should have 6x times x squared plus 5 squared. The product rule. When you have two functions multiplied together and you need to take the derivative of them, you must use the product rule. So, if you have h of x equals to f of x times g of x, the derivative would be the first times the derivative of the second. Plus your second term times the derivative of the first. And that is the formula you would follow. So for this example, we have f of x equal to e to the x sine of x. So to get the derivative, you would need to write the first times the derivative of the second. And the derivative of sine x is cosine x. Plus the second, which is sine x, times the derivative of the first. And the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. So simplifying it up just a little bit, you can pull an e to the x out times cosine x plus sine x. The quotient rule. When one wants to take a derivative of a function divided by another function, they must use the quotient rule. A hint to remembering the quotient rule is using the little rhyme, ho dee hi minus hi dee ho over ho ho. So, doing this with the following, h of x equals f of x divided by g of x. We're going to do ho, which is the bottom, d high, which is the derivative of the top, minus high times the derivative of the bottom, all over ho, which can also be written as squared. So here's an example. F of x equals 4x squared minus 5 all over 2x squared plus 3 raised to the second power. So following our rhyme, we have ho d high, so we're going to multiply by the derivative of the top, which is 8x, minus high times the derivative of the bottom, and we have to use the chain rule, so we'd have 2 times 2x squared plus 3 times the derivative of the inside, which is 4x plus 3, all over ho. So 2x squared plus 3x squared, which is also a 4. Okay. Before simplifying, we can realize that there's a 2x squared plus 3x in each 3 of our parts. So we can cancel one out, left with 1. This one goes completely away, and this one can go down to a 3. Okay. So next we need to just simplify. So we should have in the front 16x cubed plus 24x squared. Then minus 2. Now we have to FOIL these, so it should be 16x cubed plus 12x squared minus 20x minus 15 all over 2x squared plus 3x cubed. Now I'm going to take the 2 and simplify this way, so then we have 16x cubed plus 24x squared minus 32x cubed minus 24x squared plus 40x plus 30 all over your denominator of 2x squared plus 3x raised to the third. Okay, our last step is we're just going to put our powers together. So we should end up with our cubes out. We should have minus 16x cubed. X squared go completely away. We're left with 40x plus 30 all over that denominator of 2x squared plus 3x to the third.